Something is wrong about this system. We all feel it. It's not a coincidence that we're going through a mental health crisis throughout the entire globe right now. 1 billion people say that they have some type of mental illness. That's wild. I still can remember back to when I took ayahuasca. I remember talking to one of the facilitators. I was like, I don't want to go back home. Like, I don't want to go back to America. I don't want to go back into this system, this structure, because it's a system that is not very elevating to the human spirit. The system and structure is meant to complement and highlight who we naturally are as human beings. It's supposed to elevate the human spirit, not depress and compress the human spirit. Genuinely believe that's where a lot of depression comes from, right? The structure is not helping people discover what brings them joy. It's not helping people discover or even create meaning in their life. It's not helping people discover their purpose. It's not helping people foster a sense of community, a sense of belonging. The structure can be so stifling that it feels like a prison. I couldn't verbalize what I was feeling in the past, but now I think I can. I'm making money so that I can stay alive, but stay alive for what purpose? Oh, to return back to a life that I hate? I think a lot of people are in that space. There are some people who have families. They feel like they're trapped in stuff.
What I'm trying to say here is we need a reason to keep going. It's important that we get a sense of purpose. It's important that we have some joy in our lives. If we're staying alive for the sake of staying alive, for some people, it's not good enough for them anymore. And they say things like, I have nothing to live for. We need to give people joy and something to live for.
Something is wrong about this system. We all feel it. It's not a coincidence that we're going through a mental health crisis throughout the entire globe right now. 1 billion people say that they have some type of mental illness. That's wild. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that it need not be this way. Like, we are the agent of change. We can literally usher in new change in a system that is elevating and conducive to the human spirit, where people can discover their purpose, find meaning, get a sense of community, form deep connections, and elevate each other instead of fighting each other. How can mental illness exist in that type of space? It can't, right? But the fact that we're all divided up, so many of us are in jobs and in structures that makes us feel like we're trapped. Of course we're going to be anxious. Of course we're going to be depressed in that type of system. Wake up. Many of us has gone through the system. We have our first person experience of why this system doesn't work. Use your own experience to be like, yep, there's something wrong here, and let's change that. If we fall into the trap of like, who am I? I'm just one person, blah, 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 blah. Nothing ever changes. The irony is there's a lot of people who think like that. Like, if 80% of the people think like that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's exactly because you believe that there's no change that's going to happen. But if those 80% of the people start changing the way they think, like, oh, you know what? I have the ability to make a change, at least in my own life. Act locally, think globally. Change what you can change within your own life. That creates a ripple effect outward. I'm very confident that things are headed in the right direction. It may not look like it, but I'm very confident that this process is meant to lead to something good. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to share. I don't think I'm the only one. Far from it. There's many more of us who are seeing things clearly now. We'll see.